I'm Jaime with the Vintage Rental Company. I own the Vintage Rental Company, run it, do all the deliveries. It's a one-woman show plus anyone else I can get to help me.
Any volunteer, right?
Yes, my husband voluntold a lot.
Yes. And tell me what the Vintage Rental Company does.
So I have a pretty vast collection of different vintage items, but also a lot of just unique items that you can't find at bulk rental companies. I try to kind of specialize in pieces that you won't find in other places. And so I've curated my collection for 4 years now, and it's constantly growing, and much to my husband's possible dismay about it, but it's ever growing, and it's just all the little things that I love and I like to share with other people.
So how did you start the Vintage Rental Company?
So it sort of started whenever I was planning my own wedding, which at least the thought began then, and it'll be 8 years in December. And for my wedding, I was like, oh, I want vintage books and typewriters. 8 years ago, this was on point for what there was, but there was nowhere that I could find it. So I spent the whole 11 months going to flea markets and antique stores and collecting things. And I had this thought of it'd be really handy if there was somewhere where I could just rent all of this stuff from. Right. Because as you take over different rooms in your house to store things for the whole 11 months, it was like, this is growing. Right. So I kind of had the thought then, and then it was just a few years later that I was like, I really think there might be something to this. And I always loved throwing baby showers and wedding showers for friends, and it was I enjoyed having the unique decor for it. And so everything started with the old books, and then I had some milk bottle drinking glasses that I was like, that would be really cute for different showers. And my vision was so small at the beginning, oh, maybe somebody would want to use these for a wedding shower or baby shower. I'm gonna buy 50 of them and we'll see what happens. And then it was I had my first wedding, and I think they rented 4 suitcases and a bird cage or something random, and it was this is gonna work. And now I'm wow, it really is neat to look back and see how much it has just naturally grown, and I've just let it kind of grow as the demand's been there, and now it's growing.
Right.
Yes.
It keeps on growing.
Yes,
but
yes.
It's good that you started that back when you first got married, because your husband kind of got into
He
was like,
he's
oh.
very familiar now with the process of going to flea markets, and now I'm always on Marketplace, oh, look at this. The brain is always going for it. Yep.
Yeah, I can imagine, because you do really have some really cute things. I love to just go through on your website where you have all of the different items. Mm-hmm. I love that because there's a lot. Such amazing pieces that would just, all come together.
That's it. I definitely, as I've curated it, my heart and soul has definitely gone into it. So I love it when brides or other people get to use it and they love it as much as I do. It means a lot when they're this is what I've been looking for, and to be able to offer that, it makes it worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me your why. Why do you love, because obviously the wedding industry, you're working a lot of Saturdays, but tell me what your why is.
For me, I just love knowing that I'm able to provide something that gives the meaningful atmosphere for such a special day. There really is something about being able to go into a space and having all the items and all the decor to be able to just transform it and just create that atmosphere of so their day reflects them and who they are, and to be able to offer unique pieces in that sense, to be able to do that. And it makes it fun. And I think the most fun is getting to see the photos at the end of oh, it really did come together. Because for me, I just do the delivery and the pickup, and so a lot of times I see it go out in totes, and then I see it come back in totes. And so to be able to see the vision that brides had or planners had, and to see the final product of it, and to see pieces that I love in action, it's oh, yay. and to know that it was like exactly what they wanted. It makes it fun.
So tell me about your website. Tell me how they can, just tell me how that
So
works.
I operate as an online storefront. So everything, all of my inventory is listed on my website with pictures and pricing. Sometimes that's taboo, but for me, I know when I was planning my wedding, I wanted to know what I was getting into, and I didn't want to dream about something and then realize like, oh, that's not in my budget. So I try to be pretty upfront just from the beginning, like this is what it is. If it works for you, I hope it does. And if it doesn't, then you at least know now, and it's not like you're dreaming up something and then realize that like, oh, we can't make that work.
Right.
So you can go, everything is kind of categorized. And so we have our small details, the large details, furniture pieces, and tables, and everything is cataloged there, and it has grown and grown to where what the original process was, I've finally been able to switch over. So as you go through, you can just click add to wish list and just create your wish list from there, and it submits it to me. And then I get you that within 24 to 48 hours, and then the process just kind of begins from there.
You'll deliver it all to the wedding. And then you come back and you pick it up.
It's a lot of late nights. A lot of late nights. But yeah, so I offer delivery, or there is will call option. So if people, there is a minimum order fee for delivery. And so if it's under that, or if you just are not wanting to do that option, then you can do will call, where they come and pick it up and then return it in the rental windows for a 48-hour period. So I try to give some flexibility, not like, okay, you can return it or pick it up this morning and then you have to return it tonight. Right. So try to be as easy to work with as possible, because I understand that it can be one of the most enjoyable yet stressful days. Yes. And so I don't ever want to be a factor in that stress. So I try to be as accommodating as possible. And then with the delivery options, there's like a window of time in the morning that works, or whenever you have your venue. And then usually it's a lot of late night pickups where my husband and I get some quality time at like 11:30 at night or midnight. We go on a road trip.
Well, that's good. You use it for quality time at least. I mean, that keeps your marriage, right?
Right. I mean, we take date night however we can get it.
That's what happens after you've been married a little while. So
exactly.
And especially when you're an entrepreneur,
yes,
for sure.
Yes, we are both business owners, and so that quality time is key. And so we do. We enjoy it. Good. Even if it's loading 160 chairs at midnight, it works.
And tell me what all that, like the range of everything that you have.
I do specialize in vintage pieces, obviously being the Vintage Rental Company. That's like my first love. Right. But it's grown to so much beyond that. There's definitely like a lot of like boho pieces, industrial, modern, rustic, your classic, elegant looks. I mean, there's a lot of versatility in what I have. So we have farmhouse tables and bistro chairs and lounge furniture and tabletop decor, signage. I mean, there's a lot of options, a little bit of everything, probably more than when I was thinking of just little milk bottle drinking glasses, more than what I ever thought, it would be. But I love it. It's been really special, and my husband has been so gracious in all of that. All of our farmhouse tables he hand built by himself. We had help of friends, and we had a fun staining party and poly party and sanding with a bunch of friends, and so it's really been fun, because everything that we've done is just like, it's a labor of love, and it's because thankfully he supports this dream of mine. Right. And then I'll go to him and be like, hey, I think that you should build me this. And then most of the time it works out. But
that's awesome.
A little bit of everything. It definitely has grown quite a bit beyond what I ever thought it would be, which is beautiful. I mean, it's a dream come true in that sense for me personally.
Right.
I love it.